again, they're having trouble figuring out how they're going to attack Tim Walz because they're throwing stuff against the wall and trying to figure out if it's going to stick. And the thing is like all their talk about like Minneapolis and BLM, that's all been litigated already.
Yeah.
That's all been litigated in the 2020 election.
That was supposed to be their red wave in 2022.
Exactly. Here is Kevin McCarthy. This is the amazing thing about it is that they do not have any type of like substantive critique they can rely on. Like, of course, like, look, the Democrats are out there calling them weird. You could break it down. You can find like the instances in which they're talking about. But the Republicans can't do that because the Republicans are weird. It's just like, that's what normal people think. If they thought it could be effective, they're trying to like, oh, I'm not weird. You're weird. But they cannot communicate any type of vision. They can't even mix it in. So Walz and Harris will say they're weird. And we want lunch for kids in school. And we want healthcare. And we want, labor to, and unions to help the jobs. And they don't have anything to mix it in. So they basically just, they're flailing. And they may not have seen the polls, but Bernie Sanders is pretty popular across the board. And it's unclear who Kevin McCarthy thinks he's talking to here on Laura Ingram's show.
And all is well. Is this a smart choice, Tim Walz, for her tonight?
I don't think so. I think this is this choice that Ilhan Omar wanted. This is the ticket they desired. This is the most extreme. This is going from San Francisco to...
Pause it. Incidentally, we should say not only did Ilhan Omar want it, Joe Manchin wanted it. Nancy Pelosi wanted it.
Although they would think she's left-wing too.
I mean, I don't know who it is that they think is right-wing here, but Joe Manchin, he's not even a Democrat anymore.
Well, Kevin McCarthy's not happy with it.
Kevin McCarthy is not happy with this. He realizes that this is the wrong thing for the Democrats to do if they want to win. Go ahead.
That Ilhan Omar wanted. This is the ticket they desired. This is the most extreme. This is going from San Francisco to, here you go into Minnesota, the area that even Ronald Reagan could not win. I mean, this is what's so amazing to me.
They're really trying to do this. Those freaks in Minnesota.
I love that.
It's so funny because, they tried to do this with Obama where they were like, he's total Chicago politics. And I remember at the time going like, you have to be like 85 years old to even know what that is a reference to. Yeah. Like deep dish pizza. And for years, all the San Francisco stuff about Nancy Pelosi was born in an era where there was incredible homophobia. And so the implication was that she was around gay people a lot. And that's what San Francisco politics meant. And then just, it doesn't have the same salience 40 years later where people are like, what is going on with San Francisco? Oh, you mean like tech stuff? Oh, you mean increase in rents?
Yeah.
What? You
people
mean
don't remember
gay people?
Haight-Ashbury?
No, it's not Haight-Ashbury. That was the hippies.
Right, exactly.
But it was the Castro.
Right.
That's where the gay pride parades are. And so now they're trying to make Minnesota seem radical. This is
radical left-wing Minnesota. There's something in the water up there.
You see those hats they wear where they got the flaps that come down.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with it. Like, I mean, Jesse Ventura, frankly, the DFL history. But I think, it's going to be hard to sell that to the rest of America. It doesn't have that context.
You go into Minnesota, the area that even Ronald Reagan could not win. I mean, this is what's so amazing to me. I served with Tim. We came into Congress together. He's known for being the Bernie
Incidentally,
Sanders
I should just
of
remind
Congress.
you.
But to combine those,
Do you know who Ronald Reagan ran against in that year that he lost Minnesota? Walter Mondale, who was from Minnesota. Go ahead.
to here you go into Minnesota, the area that even Ronald Reagan could not win. I mean, this is what's so amazing to me. I served with Tim. We came into Congress together. He's known for being the Bernie Sanders of Congress, but to combine those two together and to try to ignore what just transpired yesterday, it was the Kamala crash that a lot of 401ks got wiped out. You've got every day you go to the grocery store, Kamala has raised the inflation. You watch every day what's happening at our border. She was in charge of that. What has she accomplished in all of this? I've watched the damage she's done to California. I watched what Tim did to the burning of his own city. I mean, I think they've gone way too far. And really, had she picked Shapiro, I would have given her a lot of respect, because it would have shown she was prepared at least to try to be president, that she'd stand up to her own party. But she's proven today she will not. She's going further left than Paul.
Okay.
I love Republicans
First off,
talking about standing up to your own party.
Exactly. You know who was the Bernie Sanders of Congress? Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders was in Congress. I think they had an overlap of a year or two, but nevertheless, McCarthy can't even get an analogy right, says the Mill Rind. I mean, it really is amazing. I mean, when you're trying to say, like, now they're going to Minnesota.
You know what that
You got
means.
a candidate? Are you kidding me? Well, we all going to have twin cities? Or what about those skywalks? I mean, is America ready for this? To be walking through hallways that are elevated? What is that?
I think having a ticket that speaks to, say, Georgia and California and also Nebraska and Minnesota, just on the two people on the ticket, that's a pretty strong ticket, actually. That is pretty, and honestly, that kind of represents America a little bit better than maybe the real estate guy from New York City and the venture capital sort of foot soldier.
What are we going to do? Have teachers? He's not even a lawyer. It really is amazing how stumped they are. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.